Welcome to Tag Park at Keith Harris Stadium on the campus of Carleton University for this Tier 2 championship in the U14 of the 2022 Fall Cup. Hi everybody, I'm Dan Mooney alongside Jesse Cart for this one. It's the Niagara Generals who have braved the 3 feet of snow to get up here all the way from Niagara Falls, Ontario, taking on the Cornwall Wildcats this afternoon in what is sure to be a great Tier 2 championship, Jesse.
Absolutely. I'm excited. I mean, there's a lot of explosive offensive players. We haven't really gotten a chance to see, everybody on the defense for the Generals, but I'm sure there's some great athletes. Now we're heading up to the U14 division today, so it's going to be exciting.
U14, that comprises kids up to 15 years old as they complete the season, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So U14, they're big boys too. I got to tell you, folks, pretty impressive to see these young athletes out there. And if you were just sort of glancing by, you'd swear it was the Calgary Stampeders against the New Orleans Saints. But it's the Cornwall Wildcats in red with black and black helmets. The Niagara Generals wearing black jerseys with gold pants, gold helmets, and black accoutrement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, at first glance, you've got a couple NFL teams here, or at least the Stampeders, and so much football going on today too, Dan, with the Mitchell Bowl and the UTEC Bowl. Great Cups tomorrow. I mean, what does this mean to you, being a Canadian and being a football fan?
On this weekend, football is paramount. That is for certain. Certainly the Mitchell Bowl and the UTEC Bowl and U Sports football close to your heart, being a graduate of the McMaster program and a member of the McMaster Hall of Fame. So this guy knows what he's talking about, kids. When we're in the middle of things, and Jesse explains something to you, it's kind of gospel.
You're too kind, but don't stop. No.
A couple of players to look out for, the quarterbacks in this one. For the Niagara Generals, it's number 17, Benji Koladzic. He is the guy that will run the offense for Niagara. On the other side of the ledger, it's Bryce Camplin, and two really, really good offenses. With the conditions, these two teams do throw the ball, but under these conditions, it may be a little more difficult to put the ball up in the air. There's a look at the weather in the nation's capital, and the wind gusts up to 22 kilometers per hour. It is going to be a very, very difficult day to navigate the football offensively. The referees for this one, referee John Pinches, the umpire Rob LaBelle, Dave Ash is the down judge, Ken Jolly is the line judge, Mark Lachance is the back umpire, and the back judge is Travis Anderson.
Well, we're just getting ready for kickoff here. Cornwall coming out from the sideline to kick off to Niagara, and I think the conditions, up until about 20 minutes ago, we were in the middle of a blizzard, so things have kind of cooled off a little bit more. It should be a little bit more stable, but I think for both teams, you still want to start off a little bit risk-adverse.
This is kind of a feeling out process under the conditions for both of these two teams. I mean, needless to say, they haven't seen each other all season long. They don't know what to expect unless they've got some scouting reports, and at this level, you have to expect that.
Yeah, I mean, as best you can, coaching at this level, the kids are very tech savvy, right, these days. So they're on their TikToks, they're on their, Instagram reels and stories, and they're trying to find clips. And there are some clips out there. There's some great outfits out of Toronto like TYSN that cover the U Sports level, and you can definitely drum up some clips if you work hard at it.
Isaac Mayville gets the kick away, lands on the ground, and it's quickly scooped up, but there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. It's offside against Cornwall, and that will be tacked on to the return. They'll move it up 5 yards, and pretty decent field position for the Niagara Generals to start their first possession here in this Tier 2 championship.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the first drive by these Generals because they've got a dual threat quarterback from my understanding. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how they utilize him early on in the game.
Spencer McRae is their big back, number 27. Ezekiel Langendone is another man that is going to get a lot of attention from the Cornwall defense today. All kinds of motion. Here's the direct snap to number 20, Langendone. And Langendone gets to the outside, and he's finally pushed down around the 52-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 yards on the play. So the first carry of the ball game ends up in a first down for the Niagara Generals.
Yeah, and if you look here, I mean, look at the size of this number 20 Langendone. He is a big back. He's got the stiff arm out there, so he's going to be a load for this Cornwall defense all day, especially in the conditions. You know they're going to lean on him.
First down. 10 yards to go from their own 52-yard line. High snap, loose ball, and Locks Radicanu had to go up and get the ball and just fall on it. So it's a loss of about 7. It'll be second down, 17 yards to go.
Yeah, and this puts them in kind of a tricky position. You don't like to have a mistake early on like that, but the conditions, you've got to expect it. So, second and long, let's maybe look for some sort of draw or screen pass, perhaps.
Radicanu still in under at quarterback. The give up the right side, and it's a pickup of about 4 on the play. There to carry the football, Carter Smith, number 26 for Niagara. And
yeah, so for third down here, third and 12, doesn't look like they're going to punt the ball. And, in these kind of conditions, I don't think I would too. I think it's a good call to just go for it. Around midfield, there's no harm turning the ball over here.
Radicanu forced to fall on the ball once again. Tackle made by Keith Barron, and the ball is going over on downs. So not only great field position for the Cornwall Wildcats, but the first possession, their defense gets a turnover.
Yeah, I think at this stage, you can't be too disappointed. I mean, you're going to get the kinks out. They've been standing around. We've had a few delays today. The first game at U12 went into overtime, double overtime, maybe even triple if I'm not mistaken. So these kids have been sitting around a long time. They're, they've been anxious to start the game, and there's going to be some nerves.
It's 4.
That's a turnover on downs, Dan.
Indeed. Anyway, first down, 10 yards to go for the Cornwall Wildcats. Their first possession of the ball game at the Niagara 43. There's a little pitch to the outside. Taken down was Connor Hamlin. He is the guy that they're going to go to all day, and Hamlin loses about 8.
Yeah, well, if you're anyone in Cornwall, you already know this kid's name, but I was kind of introduced in championship week with the NCAFA championships who this kid was. And let me tell you, they're going to lean on him. He's a big back, and he's good with the ball. So look to call his name a lot today, Dan.
Bryce Camplin in the shotgun, sort of. He's backing off. Now he goes in under center, directing traffic. Camplin has Hamlin in the backfield to give to Hamlin. Tries to go off tackle left, and he lunges forward for a couple. Not much more. There to make the stop for Niagara, number 3, Jack Buckland.
So here we go, another third down. These types of conditions, you have to expect the offenses to struggle. It's almost like the conditions and this type of year in Canada playing football, it just kind of dampens the offense's ability a little bit. But special teams is that much more important because of that. They're
in a punting formation. Hamlin getting set to kick the ball away, and he does. And it's taken on the run by Louis Cordon-Reyes. Reyes on the outside. Reyes gets to the outside, and now he's got some room. Finally brought down by Connor Hamlin. But what a great return by Luis Corredor Reyes, and great field position here for the Niagara Generals.
One impressive thing here is catching the ball on the fly like that. That's hard to do at any level, let alone U14. But yeah, he gets it and he takes it up the right side. He's got a bit of room and some decent blocking. No flags on the field, so it's a good sign.
And that side of the field hasn't been used all day. It's crunchy, and the snow has collected from the last major snowfall that we had a couple of days ago. So difficult to run on that right side, and Corredor Reyes made it look really easy. Raducanu at quarterback, rolls to his left, sets up, throws the screen, and it goes incomplete. That one intended for Ezekiel Langendone.
Yeah, a quick little hitter. They're trying some things. I think you want to keep the playbook fairly simple early on, especially in a day like this. But they still have to call the plays that have been working for them all season. So we're starting to see some things open up a little bit.
Just one first down in this ball game thus far. 7:20 left to go here in the opening quarter of this Tier 2 championship at the 2022 Fall Cup. Raducanu swings that one out for Tyson Louis Shaw, and Louis Shaw picks up about 7. He'll be shy of the first down.
But I think, Dan, this is go time here. They've shown that they already haven't punted once on third down, so now with only about, a long 3 yards to go here, I expect them to give the ball to number 20, Lang.
Third down.
On third down, 3 yards to go, and it's a long 3 for these Niagara Generals. Raducanu, the give to Ezekiel Langendone, and he's very close to a first down, but it will all depend on where they spot the football. Actually, that was number 26, Carter Smith, once again. And he gets just enough for the first down to pick up his 3, and they'll move the sticks.
So here we go, fresh set of downs. They've got an interesting loaded backfield here, and it's going to be a direct snap.
Direct snap and a bobbled direct snap. Luis Corredor Reyes tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of about 5. There to make the defensive play for Cornwall, number 44, Devlin Berry, and Isaac Mayville, number 13, there to lend a hand.
Brings up second down.
So it'll be interesting on second down and a long distance to go here, what they pull out here. We want to see early on what the coach wants to kind of test the defense with. So here we go, second down.
Smith, the lead back to give to Langendone, and he's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. Met immediately by Phoenix Oaks, number 72. But Langendone continues to keep the legs pumping, and he'll probably get back to the line of scrimmage, but not much further. A lot of energy expended on that play.
If I were to say who this kid reminds me of early on, Eddie George. Kind of reminds me of that type of runner. He's upright, he's big, and he doesn't go down easy. So here we go, it's third down. They're not going to punt again.
So third down, about 16, 17 yards to go. Raducanu forced out of the pocket, throws it over the middle, and it's knocked down by Brett Wall, who was the intended receiver, but that's when offense turns to defense to knock the ball away from a prospective pick.
Yeah, it's a smart play, him knowing that it's third down, just to knock it down and get the offense back out there. So let's see what Cornwall wants to decide to do here. We've seen a couple tosses into Hamlin, but Bryce is a capable quarterback, and he's got a good arm. There's, I think, a couple quarterbacks that they use here. So let's see if they want to test the air.
In under center And it's taken there by Connor Hamlin right off the snap, and he slipped coming around the corner. Number 18 for Niagara, Diami Mafar there in pursuit, but not before Hamlin picked up about 5. It'll be
Ball
second
carrier
and
number
5.
30, Hamlin. Second down.
Yeah, we didn't get a replay there, but just like we said, Dan, at the start, we got to expect that this Hamlin kid's going to get a heavy dose today. He looks like he's under center here.
He is again, takes the direct snap. The pile gets pushed very close to first down yardage, and I think Hamlin may have enough to move the sticks once again. Very close. They look at it, and it is indeed a first down.
Well, there you go. So Hamlin just pops in under center and pushes the pile forward for the first down. It's nice to be able to have that versatility in your guys, in your personnel. Let's see if he gets back there into the running back spot.
It's Hamlin once again in under center. Bobbles his snap, wrapped up quickly, then able to get back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be second down. So difficult to hang on to the ball, and they're wearing gloves today too, which makes it
Brings up
even more
second down.
difficult.
It can, I think sometimes it takes away the actual touch of the ball and you lose a little bit of a feel. But I definitely think that every kid here, if I was playing today, I'd be wearing gloves. It looks like the quarterback, Bryce, isn't, though, so that's kind of surprising. You even see Tom Brady. He's wearing gloves all the time now.
One glove.
One glove, yeah. On the throwing handle.
No.
No?
Camplin in the shotgun. Takes it, sets up, throws over the middle, looking again for Hamlin, and Langendone playing free safety for Niagara. He doesn't come off the field very much. If the pass goes incomplete, it'll be third down, and we'll probably see Connor Hamlin kick the football away again.
Yeah, it's an interesting matchup with 30 on the red and 20 on the black here. Going at it, especially running back safety position. It looks like they were trying to hit Hamlin on like a shallow post. Unfortunately, couldn't complete that one.
Hamlin going for the sidelines, and he's successful. It goes out around the 37-yard line, and that's where
First down for the
the
Generals.
Niagara Generals will take over first and 10. 1:37 left to go here in the opening quarter. No score as these two teams feel each other out offensively and defensively in this Tier 2 championship.
Yeah, the other games before this were real stalemates themselves, except for the last game where Cumberland was able to really open it up there in the second half. But expect good defensive battles here in this game.
Here's Kolodziejczyk. In at quarterback, throws it directly into the hands of the Cornwall defender. The ball is loose once again, and it's wrapped up there by Niagara. They get it back.
Wow, what a play.
Number 85 for Cornwall, Christian Martin, was right there to pick off Kolodziejczyk.
Well, he got a little bit of help with kind of a block that his teammate got in the face of the quarterback there when he released it, but good place, kind of Johnny on the spot there. Unfortunately, looks like it's going to retain possession with the Niagara.
Brett Wall was the man that got back to save the touchdown for Niagara. And with the change of possession, it's first down. Raducanu slips and falls in the backfield. I'll make that Kolodziejczyk. He's back in the game. And he can throw, but he's got to be able to have the time to set up, especially at this age. There's a tremendous amount of talent, but you just need the time to exhibit it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering here, with the long second down, depends on what they're able to accomplish here, but they haven't really punted so far. But back in their end like this, I wonder what they'll do if they do have a third down.
Second down, 10 yards to go from the 10. Flags fly, and they won't get the play off.
Yeah, a little bit of early motion, I think, on the left tackle.
There's referee John Pinches, veteran of the turf wars, as it were. And it's a legal procedure against Niagara, so they'll move it back 5. It'll be second down repeated, 15 yards to go, and Niagara in a bit of a hole here.
Yeah, you could say that again with zeros on the clock, the end of the first quarter here. I wonder what they're going to try to call up here.
Kolajic sets up in the end zone. Lots of time to throw. Looking downfield, looking for number 28, Hudson Grant, and that goes incomplete. So it'll be third down, and so deep in their own territory, and with Cornwall being able to move the ball a little bit in their first couple of possessions, you want to kick the football away. So at the end of the first quarter of play, no score here in the Tier 2 U14 2022 Fall Bowl Championship. You can only see it here on the Youth Sports Network.
Who's that?
Welcome back to Tag Field. Tag Park here on the campus of Carleton University. On third down, they try to kick it away. They get it out. The Generals get it out. It's a run by Luis Corredor Reyes. He's still on his feet. Luis Corredor Reyes gets out to the original line of scrimmage and then comes out about 3 yards short, and that's where Cornwall will get the ball back. So not a bad play to call in a situation like that. Brave, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, keeping it on the ground like that, at least eliminates some of the risk of having something really terrible to happen and the ball kind of flying behind you and maybe them picking it up for a touchdown. So I think it's good, especially early in the second quarter, just to kind of be a little bit risk adverse, or just be careful not to give the game away too early.
They're going for a measurement here, and it doesn't look like it's even close.
There's some nice form tackling though, and Cornwall swarming the ball nicely. That's good to see if you're a coach on Cornwall. Kids are playing together.
The gain is 18 by Reyes, and he's a yard shy, 19 by Reyes. But it's not enough, as the Generals turn the ball over for the second time.
So now we've seen the field position flip a little bit. So Cornwall's got a really great opportunity early on to make something of this next drive.
The ball is at the 23-yard line of the Niagara Generals. Cornwall, first down, 10 yards to go. Connor Hamlin in under center. Takes the direct snap once again. Goes off tackle right for a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, I think that would be generous. Not much on that play, but they're running right into the teeth of this defense. And so far, every indication that the Generals are pretty well coached and a sound defense in terms of fundamentally tackling. So that's going to be tough to do.
Second down, 7 yards to go from the Niagara 20-yard line. Bryce Camplin in the shotgun. Looks like Cornwall's setting up in a passing formation. Camplin sets up, throws, looking into the corner, and he had his man! Andrew Wiltshire had it in his hands and he dropped it.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially when you get in behind the DB, as we're going to see here, running a corner route. And sometimes you can't even believe that how open you are, and it puts a little bit of extra pressure on you to catch that ball, especially knowing that it's a touchdown if you do.
Well, if we can see that replay again, after the play, I just want to show you the snap in Camplin's release. You don't see that very much from young quarterbacks, but Camplin has the tools. Setting up once again, throwing into the corner, and that's knocked away.
You're right, Dan. That's something that I noticed last week too. He's got a bit of a snap, kind of an unorthodox form there throwing, but he can definitely get some power behind it.
So Cornwall gives up the ball once again, and they don't take advantage of a really big break with the ball so deep in Niagara's territory. This is going to be a defensive struggle, and the first quarter is any indication the next three are going to be war in the pits.
Yeah, I mean, that's one that got away from them there. They're going to think back to that and say, coming away with no points that close down into the Niagara territory, that's going to hurt. But if they can put a stop to this next drive by Niagara, then it won't be that big of a deal.
Kolajijic in at quarterback, the give to Langendone, and he's outside on the right side, and he's got nothing but turf in front of him. Langendone goes the distance from the 20, a 90-yard touchdown run by Ezekiel Langendone, and it's 6-0 Niagara.
Well, what do you say, right? You turn the ball over, we say, was that big of a deal coming away with no points, and giving them a huge chunk of yardage and a touchdown right on the quick change of possession.
There's Langendone, and nobody was going to touch him. He's about 20 yards off the line of scrimmage, and he is gone.
This kid's got a stride, and if you give him that much room, you're putting a lot of pressure on a defensive back to make that solo tackle, and I would say 99% of the time ain't going to happen.
The touchdown coming at the 2:43 mark of the second quarter to give Niagara a 6-0 lead here in this Tier 2 2022 Fall Bowl, which will indicate provincial championship status. And Kolajijic calls a timeout. There seems to be some confusion on the Niagara side of the line of scrimmage, and Kolajijic wisely took the timeout because this convert could be the difference down the road. So they don't seem to be setting up in a kicking formation. They look like they're going for two.
Yeah, you wonder, eh? I mean, at the U14 level, they're quite capable of making these extra points. So, but championship football down in the snow, you're right. You can't expect them to be going for any extra points. They might be running this in with their big guy.
Langendone, T just picked up by Brett Wall, and he throws it to the sidelines, which would indicate that they are definitely attempting a two-point conversion here. So Kolajijic in the shotgun here. He's got Carter Smith and Langendone in the backfield with him. Motion right, everything moving to the right. Kolajijic takes off, gets away. Kolajijic forced out, and the convert goes for naught. It's 6-0, and how big is that going to be down the road?
You wonder, Dan, but look at this replay here. Fake jet sweep. He's looking to toss the ball and get rid of it. There's nothing there. He doesn't feel comfortable, and there's some backside pursuit. Looks like the guy wants to go for the strip sack. He settles for the shoelace tackle, and a huge block by the running back there just to clear one of those defenders out for him, but no points.
6-0 on the 90-yard touchdown run from Ezekiel Langendone. And that gives him 3 carries for 99 yards so far in this one.
That's incredible. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Kid's almost got 100 yards. I'm not surprised. We knew that, the running games are so important in this type of climate, in this weather, and especially when you've got, the running backs that these two teams have, like, why wouldn't you use them, right? So I'm not surprised by it, but at the same time, it's nothing to take away from the kid's accomplishment. That's a lot of yards.
Big time. So Niagara will kick off. It'll be Connor Hamlin.
It's not on the ground, so.
And I believe number 14, Miles Murpaugh. Nope. It's number 36, Colin Markell. Or 26, excuse me, Caleb Denny. Alongside Connor Hamlin awaiting this kick. I'm not sure it's going to get back there. They've been moved back to the 20-yard line. Obviously something happened either on the point after or on the the touchdown would have been called back.
I think it was that big block that we saw. I think that was maybe an unnecessary block in the eyes of the officials. So an OC and a UR, so that's why that kick's pushed back a little bit. Hamlin's got it.
Hamlin has it at the 50 and takes a couple of bumps, but moves the ball to the Niagara 47. And that's where they'll start first down, 10 yards to go here, trying to answer. And they got to come up with an answer quick.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to panic about with both of these teams, right? We've seen like one huge run by the Niagara Generals. I think defensively, Cornwall's got to go back to the sideline and talk about that a little bit, but still very much a pretty evenly matched game, and let's see what Cornwall wants to do with the ball here with their next possession.
Camplin in the shotgun. Sets up, throws that one out. It goes incomplete to Connor Hamlin. Hamlin and Camplin are seemingly everything, and Camplin would love to have that one back again. You can tell he's a competitor. He's a little angry with himself coming into this next tunnel.
Yeah, those passes were always tough, I found. Just kind of spinning them out there, putting the right touch on them. You also got to be careful that it's not a backwards pass. So it was a little lackadaisical by Hamlin to kind of make sure that he didn't need to jump on that.
No, I'm not ready. I never said I was ready.
Second down, 10 yards to go. They go right back to the same play. Hamlin gets outside. Now he's got some room. Connor Hamlin with some speed gets around the corner, and he'll score. A 47-yard pass and run from Bryce Camplin to Connor Hamlin. And we're tied at 6 with the concert pending.
How about that, eh? It's the same play again. This time, Camplin doesn't make any mistake getting it to his receiver, and then Hamlin does the rest of it himself with his legs. Basically tightrope in the sideline there to get out there. But here we go. We've got 2 big explosive plays and a tie ball game with the extra point to come.
And Cornwall is electing to kick this one. And it's going to be Bryce Camplin. Isaac Mayville to hold. Camplin's kick is up, and it is no good. So wide right, a great run, a 47-yard pass from Camplin to Hamlin, and we are tied at 6.
Well, and you said it, Dan. How important are those 2 points or 1 point later in the game? So far, both teams haven't gotten picked up those extra points, but we'll see, in the fourth quarter how that'll affect everything.
So Connor Hamlin's numbers not so impressive on the run. 6 carries for 8 yards, but 1 catch for 47 yards and a touchdown. Has knotted this one up at 6.
Yeah, I don't think the players on either team care how those yards come or those points, but they'll take anything they can get Hamlin showing that he's got some hands there too to be able to reel that in and get focused upfield right away.
Mayville's kick. Taken by number 6, Luke Harker, and a good return from Harker over the midfield stripe inside Cornwall territory, and they'll start 1st and 10 at the Cornwall 54.
So we've seen, I think as a defense right now, what I'm curious to see is how this defense kind of tightens up since that last big run. Because you know that this offense has tested some success on the perimeter up towards the sidelines where the players are. So I would expect them to go right back to that same play and see if it could be defended.
Look for number 20, all in black. His name is Ezekiel Langendone. He's already broken 1 for 90 yards. But he's not in the backfield. It's Raducanu. Reverses his field, forced out of the pocket, gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much further.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. Just a little bit of a broken play. It didn't look good right from the snap. So, I think offensively, get back in the huddle, call your next play, and forget that last one.
Raducanu, 2nd down.
2nd down. I'll give Raducanu 1. Just for the effort. 2nd and 9. High snap. Raducanu has to go up and just fall down on it. The sack. Number 45, Keith Barron, will get credit for the sack. And it's another 3rd down situation here for the Niagara Generals.
And that's frustrating. It's got to be because he had a couple receivers streaking down the field, and it didn't look like the defensive back core were backing up quick enough. So he could have gotten one off, and they could have been in the end zone with that one. Unfortunately, a high snap killed that potential.
Raducanu out of the ball game. Into kick now is Luis Corridor Reyes, and 2 men on side. And here's the kick, and Reyes slips, and the ball comes right to the Cornwall Wildcats. It's scooped up there by number 9, Talon Kickert, and it's 1st down, 10 yards to go. They're using the 2 men. They had Langendone on one side and Carter Smith on the other, trying to utilize their speed for the onside punt.
There it is, another look at it, and punter slipped as he kicked it. We've seen that a couple times today. Not a great kick, but
1st down for the Wildcats.
they almost jumped back on it there. Special teams are definitely high risk, high reward aspect of the game in these conditions. So let's keep an eye on these special teams plays here today.
Here's Bryce Camplin once again in the shotgun. He'll set up. Camplin sets up, throws over the middle, and it's complete to Kenaniah Joseph. And that's a big pickup of 22 yards and a 1st down for Cornwall. Their first down of the ball game.
And you know what? What I like about this a lot is that they're not afraid to go back to the pass, okay? They had a drop near the end zone, would have been a touchdown. Didn't phase them. They're going back to the air. They know they can do it. Bryce gets a great pass just over the head of that defensive back, probably a halfback. And, what I'd be doing if I was the Generals right now is coaching them up and just saying, don't get your eyes fixed on that quarterback, right?
Camplin once again, and he gets eaten up there big time by Abraham Hebert. And he's hurt.
He's injured.
Yeah, and you don't like to see that.
He's like wailing.
They were
on the
coming
ground.
in fast, and I think that was an all-out blitz. Camplin didn't really have time to do much, right? Let alone get rid of the ball. So hopefully he's okay. We'll have a quick look at this replay, but a pretty big hit.
There's Abraham Hebert or Luis Corridor Reyes, but it was a blindside hit. Camplin was not expecting it, and you don't want to lose your quarterback in a championship game. That would be a huge hole in the Cornwall lineup.
Yeah, you know, watching this team play throughout the season in the CAFA, I know that they do have a few quarterbacks that they interchange with. So I do think that they're probably better set up than most teams to have somebody come in and replace. But you don't want to lose your, like you said, Dan, you don't want to lose your star quarterback. And you certainly don't want to see anyone get hurt. But you know, that was a pretty clean tackle. You know, I think Sam linebacker's coming through, had a clean shot at him, and it looks like he's getting up now, so that's a good sign. But I was going to say, if they needed to, I think as a reservist, Hamlin, I wouldn't be surprised if they put him under center too.
Well, there's a very good look at Bryce Camplin coming off to the sidelines, and he'll undergo some concussion protocol, no doubt.
Yeah, and that's good, especially, you know, it doesn't matter what age. You're starting to see it better in the NFL, although they're not perfect either. But there's just no point taking chances with people's health, so you come on out and have a look at the kid, and I'd say Camplin's probably done for the day.
The loss is 5. It's second down, 15 yards to go. And Connor Hamlin tries to go, and he's slow getting up as a result of slipping on this turf that is laden with snow.
Yeah, and this is what I said. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Hamlin came under center to kind of take the responsibility. But now he's limping. This is certainly a turn for the worse for the Cornwall Wildcats with arguably their two star-powered offensive players that are injured now. Hamlin stays in nonetheless.
He does. He stays in to kick this away. Good snap. Hamlin gets the ball and gets a good kick away to Corridor Reyes at his own 17-yard line. Luis Corridor Reyes on the outside, reverses his field, puts on the brakes and comes all the way back around to the near side. He's got some room. Luis Corridor Reyes has got a block. Luis Corridor Reyes finally brought to the turf by Keith Barron. What a run. He ran about 4 miles to return that about 50 yards.
That's just how quick things can change. Now, one thing I saw in this play that I do like, outside of him reversing field and just kind of making something happen out of nothing, there was a great let up on a block here. You know, it could have easily been a penalty, and you see the Niagara player just kind of let up, understand the rules and the way that the officials are calling this game now. You'll see it here, right here. He just lets up, and that's a great heads-up play by a football player in this generation, I'd say.
So, more yardage being added, more than likely an unnecessary roughness penalty because they're moving the ball all the way down to the Cornwall 26-yard line.
Yeah, I didn't see what it was, but it could have been a face mask, actually. I didn't catch it on the replay there, but with that size of a penalty, I'd say it's good chances of face mask. We're also getting a bit of help from some officials that know what they're seeing out there up here in the booth, so that's always nice. But 4 minutes, 7 seconds left in the first half. It's a tie game, 6-6. And Cornwall kind of, over the last couple minutes, few series, are kind of limping away here. And I wonder if the Generals are smelling blood in the water a bit.
First down, 10 yards to go from the Cornwall 31-yard line. Raducanu, still in at quarterback. Blocks Raducanu.
Great play.
Quick give up the middle. Number 27, Spencer McCray, his first carry of the football game results in a pickup of maybe a yard.
And that's just a really great play by the defensive lineman of the Cornwall Wildcats. He just kind of stands up his block. He gets about 2 yards penetration and then gets his eyes into the backfield, finds him, wraps him up.
Phoenix Oaks with the tackle. And then again, McCray tries to get to the outside, and he's taken down. And it'll be third down.
So 3rd down, big play here for the Generals.
Ball carried
You know,
once again by number
just as I
27,
said,
McCray.
Cornwall went back after that series where
3rd
they
down.
let that 80-plus yard run. They tightened some things up. They look pretty good. I think probably their Camplin, who I believe Kirby played linebacker himself, is starting to coach up those linebackers to be able to scrape a little bit more, especially on those big long sweep plays by the Niagara Generals.
Radicanu, the give to Corridor Reyes, and he's tripped up. A wonderful open field tackle there by number 42, Andrew Wiltshire.
Wiltshire on a great play. He goes low, tackles him at the knees. They always said growing up, fundamentally, if you're a small guy, you've got to tackle low. If they don't have their legs, they're not carrying on. So that's exactly what he did on that play. It's great to see.
Andrew Wilshire. Yards not
Picked
gained.
up 3 yards, but not enough, and Cornwall
First down
takes
for the
over on
Wildcats.
downs once again.
So a real back and forth battle, right? This is a great game so far.
6-6. Two big plays as well have contributed to the scoring in this one. A 90-yard run from scrimmage by Ezekiel Langendone for Niagara, and a 47-yard pass and run from Bryce Camplin to Connor Hamlin. And those are the 2 big plays that are up on the board. Both touchdowns unconverted. Camplin in, throws, but Wiltshire had slipped, so the pass goes incomplete.
Yeah, Bryce is back in the game, so I guess he got a couple minutes to compose himself, and no question he's a tough kid. So he's back out there. Make no mistake, he wants to win this game.
So 2nd down, 10 yards to go. 2:44 left to go here in the opening half of this Ontario Fall Cup, the 2022 version from the nation's capital and Tag Park on the campus of Carleton University. Camplin, the give once again to Hamlin, and he's met immediately.
Yeah, nothing doing there, right in the middle of that, the heart of the defense there. You can see they've got a pretty solid defensive line. They're well coached, and gap control is good there. And they swarm the ball, and they stop him in his tracks.
Jack Buckland once again, they're leading the charge along with number 50, Cameron Kotick.
Well, both of these teams are in the championship for a reason. So, I mean, these are fundamentally sound football teams. They've won a lot of games this year, and I think it's pretty exciting to be facing somebody out of municipality.
Punt taken there by Brett Wall. Wall tripped up there. Guess who? Number 26, Caleb Denny, downfield once again for his second special teams tackle of this afternoon.
So General's back on the offense. Last couple series really didn't make much of the opportunity. So I'm wondering now if coach is going to call a little bit of a wrinkle. We might see a trick play on this next series.
Be interesting to see whether or not they pull this kind of stuff with the conditions being what they are. Everything has to work perfectly in order for a play to be successful under the best conditions.
Well, we've seen a couple double reverses even from the younger divisions. So I think that's I wouldn't say safe play, but you're keeping it on the ground. And as long as you practice that where you can get the solid handoffs, that's something that I think we could see.
Olajijic in at quarterback. The pitch to the outside, and Wall tries to throw it. It's intercepted by Connor Hamlin.
Beautiful play. So it wasn't a double reverse. What it was a halfback toss pass. But nonetheless, like we said, a trick play early on, try to draw the defense in and get a quick one over top. Unfortunately for them, Hamlin's kind of scoping and hunting for balls out there in the defensive secondary.
4th turnover of the first half by the Niagara Generals. So Cornwall gets the ball back in good field position right at their own 44-yard line. Bryce Camplin In at quarterback. Camplin setting up. He's got to eat it.
Smart play. You know, especially, I think it was probably a leg thing. He was limping a little bit, so I don't think it was anything to do with the upper body when he got hit the last time. So now he's just kind of nursing that leg a little bit, and I think that's a smart business decision they call when you eat it.
Second sack of the game for Luis Corredor Reyes. He does it all for this Niagara Generals team. Out there on offense, out there on defense, returns kicks. Here's Camplin, sets up, throws to the outside, intending that one once again for Wiltshire, but he zigged when he should have zagged.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's kind of a critical time in the game. Big third down and a country mile. Minute 46 left in the half. It'll be interesting to see, what Cornwall decides to do here.
There you saw Luis Corredor Reyes and Jack Buckland. Defensively, they've been tremendous for Niagara so far in this game. Once again, Connor Hamlin getting set to kick the ball away, and it's blocked. Picked up there by Spencer McRae. Great field position here for the Niagara Generals as they get a big play from Spencer McRae.
Now these are the plays we talked about, special teams, right? Big risk, big reward. In that scenario, we see the replay here. The offensive line just get pushed back, and even our camera person wasn't ready for that one. So the Generals are going to take over with great field position.
Jack Buckland in there once again. So Benji Kolajijic and the Niagara offense out there. Great field position just outside the 25-yard line. Here's Kolajijic. Sets up to throw. Fake pump. The Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty to push that out of bounds. It's Hudson Grant going out of bounds. Wow. Let's see that again.
We're going to see the replay here. Like you said, he just kind of sells that perfectly. And it sucks in the defense. They don't have the edge. They don't have the contain there that they need, and it's going to be a first down. But these are the trick plays, right? This is if you're going to run kind of a wrinkle trick play, this is a good one. It keeps the ball on the ground, and as long as you've got good exchanges, that's not a bad play to call.
Hudson Grant, his first carry of the ball game is for 11 yards, and more importantly, it's a big first down for these Niagara Generals. And if they're able to take a lead into the room at the break, only a minute 29 left to go here in the second quarter, that would be big coming back.
That gives you so much confidence, especially go into the half with stringing a couple good plays together, moving those chains a few times on a drive like this. Being able to execute a highly difficult play like a Statue of Liberty is also a great confidence booster.
Pick up 11. The ball just outside the Cornwall 15-yard line. The direct snap right to Langendone. Langendone going to the left side, gets inside the 10. To about the 6 or 7. It will be a pickup of 13 and another Niagara first down.
Yeah, there's some good pursuit. I think Cornwall linebackers, came in, got decent contain there, but kind of got pushed out of the play and irrelevant there. So I think they need to do a little bit better job of sticking their feet in the snow and sealing that edge and taking on the block. But nonetheless, we've got a real chance for the Generals. And if I were the Cornwall team, I'd call timeout here just to slow things down for a little bit.
Well, the snow has picked up. It's freshened a little bit over the last few minutes. Certainly not like the blizzard that we experienced about 2 hours ago here at Carleton University. But here come the Generals. The Wildcats are waiting for them. First down, goal to go from the Wildcats 6-yard line.
It's a critical play here.
Kolodziejczyk in the shotgun. Direct snap to Langendone once again around the right side. He's into the end zone. Rolls over Christian Martin, and it's now 12-6 Niagara with the extra point to come.
Talk about finishing a play with an exclamation mark here. Look at this. He just runs over the defender right on the goal line. That's going to be on that kid's highlight reel. I can guarantee that.
Second touchdown for Langendone. And the extra point to come. The touchdown coming at the 10:51 mark of this second quarter. Bad snap directly. Brett Wall throws into the end zone and it's knocked down.
So your classic fire drill. The extra point goes horribly wrong. It's a bad snap. They wisely just go downfield. Somebody tries to get open on a little out route in the end zone. Unfortunately for them, defense, there's about 3 defenders there covering them, and they knock the ball to the ground.
Well, it was only a matter of 56 seconds for Cornwall to answer the first Niagara touchdown. They have 1:09 left to go here in this first half. That's enough time.
Absolutely, and I think coming away with Generals holding them to 6 points. They had to chunk it down, a few first downs to get down there. They had the Statue of Liberty. They had a couple nice another couple of other nice plays. But really, you got to feel good, I think, as a defense of making them earn it down the field like that.
So Langendone with a couple of touchdowns. And it's the difference at this point. 6 points. All that's separating these two teams with 1:09 left in this first half. Luis Corredor Reyes. No, he kicks 2. Kicks that one off. Right into the hands of Jalen Kickard. And he gives Cornwall good field position. 1:07, just 2 ticks of the clock elapsed on that last play. So you saw Niagara with some trick plays. Kaplan's got the arm. Do they have that in their arsenal?
He's got the arm, but I'm not sure if he's got the time. And that would probably adjust things. We've seen, one of the successful plays, I think it was the touchdown, was just a quick little pass out to Hamlin. So I think they do have to call plays where they can get the ball out of Kaplan's hands really quick, which does kind of limit what they can call. We saw that the touchdown was dropped over here with a corner route. So they are getting open, but he just doesn't have the time. So we'll see how they get around that.
Well, Wiltshire spread wide left. I believe it's Liam Bourbonnais. No. Maybe Christian Martin over on the far side. Jack Kreitz is out there as an extra receiver.
That looks like they're sorting some things out here, but we're just about to go.
We've been 30 minutes.
Joey Stevenson, wearing number 69, flanked wide right. Connor Hamlin in the backfield alone, setback.
And there you go, right? Just not a lot of time. He's looking for that play like we discussed, getting it out to Hamlin on a swing pass. I think the defense is on that. It looks like number 20 by the Generals is just kind of shadowing 30. We're going to see that, right? This is kind of like that match coverage where kind of best on best. And what's interesting when you do that, and whether that was coached or whether the kids are sorting that out themselves, when you do eliminate kind of one of your threats, then it forces the other team to find another way.
Low snap, picked up. There's Hamlin finally taken down after a big, big loss. With 29.2 seconds left to go.
Ball carried by number 30, Hamlin, for
It
the loss of
would
yards.
appear that
Third down.
the Wildcats are sending on their punting unit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think you want to be trying to do anything to get out of this half at this point, but at the same time, you don't want to be kicking it to their best player on a punt. So I think if I were Cornwall and number 30, I would try to, cough and kick this out of bounds.
Here's Hamlin's kick, and it goes without a return. So Niagara will get the ball back with 12.1 seconds, which is more than enough time for Ezekiel Langendone to get downfield once again and score before the half.
Yeah, these are the types of situations as a defense when you kind of just, you're walking on eggshells a little bit because, 12 seconds left. You get into the half down by 6, no big deal, right? You come back out at 0-0 and away you go. But if they spring one here and they get in the end zone, then it really deflates you more, the morale of the team. So you got to be really careful. You got to make sure that that you're sticking to everything right now and that your head's in the game.
Kolajic in the shotgun. Langendone right beside him. There's the snap. Kolajic rolls out to his right, and he's taken down. A good open field hit there from number 85. That's Christian Martin, the kid who got rolled over at the goal line by Langendone on his last touchdown.
For a loss of 5 yards.
He's putting his chest in there. He's not the biggest kid. Taking on these big running backs like he is, it shows that he has no fear.
So, without a penalty, this should be the final play of the opening half. All kinds of motion. Back in under center, the pitch to Carter Smith. And he's taken down once again by Christian Martin. And that will end the opening half of play. So the Cornwall Wildcats taking
Ball carried by number
two
26,
big
Carter
plays
Smith,
by
taken down by number
Ezekiel
85, Christian
Langendone.
Martin.
And another
That
big
brings us
one
to the half.
by Connor Hamlin, and that's the difference, 6 points. So when we return, you'll see the second half of the 2022 Ontario Fall Cup. It's the U14 Tier 2s, and Niagara leads by an unconverted touchdown.
Check.
This is the Youth Sports Network. Welcome back to Carleton University and Tag Park on the campus of Carleton University here in the nation's capital. And what a first half we've seen. Two great teams coming out and coming up with big plays, and Ezekiel Langendone is the star of this one so far. 4 carries, 112 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, this kid's special. Big body. He's made like a pretty significant play already in this game. The snow's starting to fall a little bit more, so I think both teams are just going to end up relying on their key guys on offense a little bit more, which puts more pressure back to the defenses.
The Niagara Generals coming out here, leaving 3 feet of snow, so this is nothing for them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Canadian boys and girls are built a bit differently. I think I saw that on an Instagram thing recently, but I thought it was interesting for any Americans watching this type of a game, us playing football this late in the year. Somebody from Florida or Georgia probably think we're crazy up here.
Well, they probably think we're crazy up here for many reasons, but football, certainly one of them on this day, and Luis Corredor Reyes gets set to kick this one away. Waiting for it is Connor Hamelin, and it goes over the head of Caleb Genny, and he goes all the way back to his own 14 to pick it up. Big hit. Genny gets out, and guess who made the tackle? The kicker, Luis Corredor Reyes.
Well, you know, at this age, U14, Dan, it's not like they've got a reserved kicker, place kicker, or a punter. These kids are playing every position.
So first down, 10 yards to go for the Cornwall Wildcats at their own 19-yard line. And Bryce Camplin still in there at quarterback. Perfect. Just talking to our audio tech, Steve Johnston.
All right, here we go.
First down, 10 yards to go. Third quarter action, and the snow freshening here in the nation's capital.
So it's a chance for Cornwall to start the half in a good way. You know, I think.
Timeout call.
Oh. But I think as an offense or as the coaches, what you want to do is just come away with some success. You know, get back into the game. You don't want to have some major mistake like a bobbled snap or something that's preventable. So, just to be extra focused on series when you're coming back from half is I think, important as a team.
There you see the Niagara Generals made the trek all the way, 11-hour bus ride, no doubt. And, going back to what they're going back to, that a victory here today will make that ride a little bit more palatable.
100%. And you think about it, it's interesting, like all the way from Niagara to all the way to Cornwall. We've got a real stretch here, these two teams coming together in Ottawa. But it's, huge shout out to the work that the Football Ontario has been doing to try to make something like this happen.
Bryce Camplin in at quarterback, sets up, throws, gets hit, but completes the pass. A big play there by Camplin to Andrew Wiltshire. And the pickup is 15. It's 14 yards on the play.
You know, this is tough. Camplin being able to get this ball off with a defender in his face mask again. This is a tough game for this kid. He doesn't have a lot of time, and he's still able to get a huge completion off like that. Good job, Bryce.
First down. Little swing out to the outside, and it's Wiltshire once again, and he's taken out at the 40. It will be a pickup of about 7 on the play. So Wiltshire had a chance to get a catch in the first half, dropped it, but he's had 2 plays back-to-back go his way here to open this third quarter.
Yeah, another quick swing pass out to Bryce's left side. Gets a few good yards. Now it's a manageable second down. This is exactly what I was talking about in terms of coming out of the half and having a good series.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Camplin throws over the middle, and he goes to Wiltshire once again, and he couldn't hang on there to provide the defensive coverage. I believe it was number 28, A.J. Campbell.
Yeah, and you can see he looks a little cold. He's covering his hands and his armpits. I mean, it's a tough catch in this type of condition in the cold weather. But the ball was a little behind him, so it was extra difficult for him to make that reception.
Still a manageable third down, 3 yards to go. And in that first half, 4 turnovers by Niagara, 2 by Cornwall. Here's Camplin, swings that out once again to Wiltshire. He has the first down, stays on his feet, gets to midfield. Andrew Wiltshire with a 15-yard pickup on the play, and Cornwall continues to move downfield.
Now, watch this. Here's what I will say about this play at this juncture in the game. They've run the swing pass a lot, and they've had success on it. But if I'm a defense, I'm going to start cheating a little bit and trying to get somebody in a position to make an interception, and that could be a pick 6. So, as an offense, knowing that, I think what I want to do is pump fake the swing pass and then have somebody kind of fake a block as a wide receiver and then keep going down the field, and you might have a home run shot there that they're setting up.
Bryce Camplin, low snap, has to eat it. Once again, it'll be a loss of 5. Second down, 15 yards to go for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and as an offensive coordinator, I think you've got to build in a few of these types of situations going into a game like this. There's going to be bobbled snaps, there's going to be fumbles that you got to jump on, and you're going to see some interesting down and distances. So, second and long, this is another challenge for the Cornwall Wildcats.
The give once again to Connor Hamlin, drives forward, gets just beyond the original line of scrimmage and picks up about 7. It'll be 3rd and 7 or 8.
And that's a statement run by Cornwall, running right into the teeth of the defense and getting about, like you said, 10 or 11 yards. That's the kind of stuff that you've got to run as an offense, just to chip away at the defense's mentality. It's demeaning when you can pick up yards like that right in the middle.
Well, they've got the wide side of the field, and during the halftime break, there were people out shoveling the outsides of the field so you could see the hash marks. And the UTEC ball, all kinds of great stuff going on, and it's Saskatchewan defeating St. FX 36-19, and with 6:29 left in the third quarter, Laval has just climbed back to get within a converted touchdown of the Western Mustangs. They lead at 17-10.
Lots of great football happening. Some great football at the Ontario Fall Cup here in Ottawa.
And there was almost a clothesline tackle there by Spencer McRae coming in from the left side. And it's going to be another turnover, and the Niagara offense comes onto the field. The third time that the Cornwall Wildcats have given the ball up on downs.
Yeah, and a frustrating way to end that series. You can see it was all over the quarterback's demeanor. But nonetheless, it's still a 6-point game. You got to keep your head in it if you're both of these teams.
All the scoring in this one happened in the second quarter. A 90-yard run by Ezekiel Langendone. Cornwall comes back with a 47-yard pass and run touchdown. There's Radican, who threw that one into the hands of number 64, the tackle eligible Jack James.
Yeah, kind of an interesting play there. I didn't really, I just looked up as I saw the tail end of that play, but, you know, it's lucky that that wasn't behind the line of scrimmage, and that could have been a lot worse. And there's a flag on the play.
And it's against Cornwall. So they'll move the ball back 10. And penalties really not a big problem for either one of these teams. Just 2 penalties for 30 yards for 2 for 25 actually for Cornwall.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean game.
And here's
a fumble.
indeed Corridor Reyes dropped the football, and now they still battle for it. Corridor Reyes is in there.
We're going to have a look at this now. It looks like a couple players a little uncomfortable on the ground there, but
Isaac Mayville, number 13 for Cornwall. Here's Corridor Reyes taking it through, and then loses the handle on the football right there.
it was number 1, Joden, that I think kind of grabbed the arm where he was securing the ball and ripped it out. So, you know, that's what they teach him, right? Grab cloth, also grab ball and get it out of there. So
Niagara got it back. Here's Raducanu. The give to Langendone. Langendone to the outside. He'll score easily. Ezekiel Langendone. 39 yards to the end zone, and it's 18-6 Niagara.
and just like that, you know, now Cornwall's got a bit of a climb here to get back into this game. And it happens so quick with an explosive runner like that. Look at the stride on him. Like I said earlier in the first quarter, it reminds me of an Eddie George-style runner. And just like that, he's in the end zone.
6:21, the time of the touchdown. And we've got an injured ball player on the field. Not sure what team.
I think that's Cornwall, Dan.
Neither team has been able to convert a touchdown so far in this one. 2 by Niagara, 1 by Cornwall. And now Niagara gets an opportunity once again, but just not quite sure who the injured ball player is, but certainly getting a lot of attention around the 35-yard line, right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and I think he, you know, looked like he slipped. You know, he went down before, you know, that running back had turned the corner. So I don't think it's a pride injury.
Oh, it seems to be getting the young person up, and they're going to carry him off. So more than likely an ankle or a leg injury at some point.
Or a groin, you know.
Yes.
On these fields, when he's slipping,
Absolutely.
it could be a groin. Although at U14, you don't get a pulled groin too often. He usually made of rubber at that age.
If only that were the case when you got older.
No kidding.
So the extra point to come.
So 5:39 left in the third quarter here. 18-6. Generals are up top now.
Mark Hazuri in to convert the touchdown. High snap, and it's Kolodziejczyk takes it, but he runs into number 72, Phoenix Oaks, once again. And again, no conversions of major scores so far in this one. 5:39 left to go. And there's the scoreboard. Niagara leading by 12, and Cornwall has to come up with an answer quickly now.
Yeah, well, you know, I called what I saw. A lot of the success, certainly in the second and third quarter so far, has come from that swing pass. Now, we know the quarterback doesn't have much time. So you're starting to think maybe a double pump, like a pump fake, double move. I would start looking at those types of plays. I think they might be able to get back into this game with a cheap one, and then kind of refocus on their brick and mortar meat and potatoes plays with Hamlin.
Number 33, Henley Shore, getting set to kick. No, it's going to be Luis Corredor Reyes, Mr. Versatility for these Niagara Generals.
Yeah, it's so important too at this age. Like, even at the U14 level, I would say that it doesn't really matter where you play. You're just learning how to become a good football player. It's not until you get into the kind of university where you start to really target in and focus on one specific sport, specific position. But it's good to be versatile.
Caleb Denny returns that one to the 40-yard line, and that's where Cornwall will start this next possession. 5 minutes, 20 seconds on our clock remaining.
So a good catch for watching on the replay, to catch the ball in the air, not let it drop. That's good good play there, and now secured the ball, and he's giving it back to his offense. So let's see if they can make something happen here. They're going to need to.
Bryce Camplin in the shotgun. Hamling takes it and goes nowhere. Everybody saw that one coming, including number 3, Jack Buckland, and number 20, Ezekiel Langendone.
Yeah, we're getting a look at this play again. Yeah, it's just sniffed that out right from the word go.
So Connor Hamlin has been effectively shut down by the Niagara defense. 9 carries for 14 yards. And you look at the other side with Ezekiel Langendone with 4 carries for 112 yards, and he's yet to touch the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, some adjustments happening for sure. But, this is critical. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean, got to start figuring something out as Cornwall.
Everybody in the backfield. Camplin sets up, throws over the middle, and completes that to Wiltshire. He's got a first down. The pickup is 21 yards for Andrew Wiltshire, and boy, what a big play for the Cornwall Wildcats.
Just when they needed it, right? He had more time. There was a nice pocket that was formed for him. And look, when you give a quarterback with that kind of talent a little bit of time, this is what happens. His receiver got open downfield and comes up with a big play.
Elliott Keenan there to make the tackle for the Generals. First down, 10 yards to go from the Niagara 51. And again, Camplin forced to go down. He can't get out of the pocket. There to meet him this time, number 22, Isaac Hebert.
The other tough part, this is challenge because Camplin's not the tallest quarterback either, tallest kid. So being able to see where his receivers are downfield, especially in a night game with the snow on the field, I mean, it's got to be tough visibly. He's up against a lot of challenges, but I'd say that he's really doing well for despite all those challenges.
Second down, about 16, 17 yards to go. In the shotgun, Camplin sets up, swings that one out, looking for Wiltshire, but everybody saw that coming, and Camplin's down again. That was a big hit he took on that play.
Yeah, I only played maybe a half a season of quarterback in my youth playing days, but it is a really tough position, and I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time. He's taking a bit of a beating here, and it just shows how tough this kid is because he keeps coming back out.
On third down. Back out comes Ethan Greenley. Isaac Mayville.
So special teams, what do we say, Dan? This is risk and reward.
Picked up by Corridor Reyes. Once again, Luis Corridor Reyes still on his feet. Finally tripped up just beyond the midfield stripe. A return of 22, but there's a flag down, and we'll have to await the call.
Yeah, it looks like an illegal block on the Generals.
So that'll come back.
Right there, block in the back. And you got to have a lot of discipline when you're running down on punt.
Holding.
You want to help out your returner with a block, but if you can't see the front of his numbers, you know, it's just a good idea to lay off. So 2:24 left in the third quarter, 18-6. Generals on top of the Cornwall Wildcats. They got the ball.
The ball on their own 29-yard line. Raducanu in a quarterback. Give around the end. Corridor Reyes trying to get to the outside. Nice tackle there on Corridor Reyes.
I think the defender might have gotten the worst of that. But a nice tackle. He got in there, contained him. He's up. He popped right back up. But a nice play for a smaller kid.
Talon Kickert made a good tackle to keep Corridor Reyes to a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. The give to make that Carter Smith. He spins off a couple of tackles to get out to around the 25-yard line.
So now if Cornwall can hold the Generals on this series, you've got a third down here. If they can stop them, get the ball back with reasonable field position, now it gives the offense another chance to try a few more things. And I think, you know, they've gotta try to figure out a way to get a quick score.
Third down, 5 yards to go from their own 35. Here's Kolajijic, the Statue of Liberty didn't work this time. Kolajijic picks it up, and it's a big loss. A huge loss, about 20 yards, and Cornwall gets the football back. What a play there from Jackson Chaudouin.
So I couldn't have scripted better if you're the Cornwall Wildcats to get that defense off the field, but they're trying the Statue of Liberty again, and this time the exchange isn't clean, and they lose a ton, and they give Cornwall great field position. So I think, you know, I hate to say it because we're just ending the third quarter, but I mean this is critical.
Talon Kickert was the man who made the tackle. Jackson Chaudouin was in on the play, but first down, 10 yards to go for the Cornwall Wildcats from the 20-yard line.
They got 3 receivers to the strong side here.
All kinds of movement. And it looks like it may be a legal procedure. So these are the things that drive coaches crazy.
Yeah, it's going to push them back, and you know it's.
No, it's against Niagara.
Oh, sorry, my mistake. Okay, yes.
So they'll move the ball up to the 15. It'll be 1st and 5.
So Cornwall being handed, you know, a good hand here, and they've got to be able to capitalize. Looks like they were looking to pass on the last play with the three receivers to the strong side. Let's see what they come up.
This will be the final play of the third quarter, barring a penalty. Look for number 30. Here's the pass over, and one hops into the hands of A.J. Campbell, I believe. but it will go for naught. They'll change ends and come back for the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks. This one far from over. A 12-point advantage for the Niagara Generals is all that separates the Cornwall Wildcats from this final here in Ottawa. Second down, 5 yards to go for the Cornwall Wildcats from the Niagara 15-yard line. Dan Mooney, Jesse Card, our entire TYSN crew, and that one's picked off. Does it go as an incomplete pass? It's an interception.
Wow,
Brett Wall.
let's have a look at this, Dan.
Intercepted by the Generals.
It's
Oh, it was tipped.
at the line of scrimmage.
Johnny on the spot, though, to run up and get under that. Great job by the defensive player.
Brett Wall, number 12
12
for
Wall.
the Niagara Generals. And it's another turnover.
Now, it's being discussed. I don't know what we're talking about here as the official crew, but what a turn of events.
Well, the Niagara offense remains on the field. So Brett Wall with an interception. And first down, 10 yards to go for the Niagara Generals. Raducanu with another bad exchange from center. And it's a fumble recovered by Cornwall.
There you go. So this is the shot, right? Cornwall given another good opportunity down in the Generals area of the field. This is just, I hate to say it, but they got to come up with points here, and they got to probably come up with a touchdown.
So if anything, all of that did was give Cornwall a couple of extra yards. It's first down, 10 yards to go from the Niagara 13. Bryce Camplin looking to the sidelines.
A little bit of extra protection in the middle there for him with 13.
Here's Camplin. Has to eat it once again. Luis Corridor Reyes with his third sack of the ball game.
I think this kid's making a case for himself for an MVP.
Well, there's an offensive, a defensive, and a game MVP that are all selected. And from an offensive perspective, you got to look at Ezekiel Langendone so far. He's done it all. He's been doing it all for the Niagara Generals today. And defensively, it's Luis Corridor Reyes.
Well, Camplin's wearing a San Fran.
There's the throw, and it almost intercepted there. It was Isaiah Benjamin getting his hands on it, but the hands are cold, the ball is cold. It's that much more difficult to hang on to it.
Yeah, I was just trying to run a little, 5 or 6 yard hook, but that one's read really well by the defensive halfback. But I was saying Camplin's wearing a hand warmer with San Francisco 49ers logo on it, so you got to ask yourself, what would Montana do here?
Well, he's got to come up with a Dwight Clark's the catch. And he throws it over the middle, intending that one for Hamlin, incomplete, and it's another turnover. And Camplin is left to wonder, what does he have to do?
Yeah, this is tough. Like, this might just be one of those games where they look back and say, it's not that we didn't have our opportunities or our chances. We were just up against a really good defense today. So
So first down, 10 yards to go for the Niagara Generals. They get their offense out there. The ball on the 17-yard line.
So, quick possession change. This is where you got to be careful for the big play.
Didn't work out so well for the Generals on their last possession. Kolodziejczyk in at quarterback. The give to Langendone. Flag down. Langendone gets to the outside. And Langendone still on the outside. He's got an angle. Whoa! He put it into another gear. Langendone goes all the way. But it's coming back. It looks like it might be coming back.
Flag behind the quarterback is a bad sign, but just like I said, change of possession. That's when you're susceptible to a big play as a defense. So that's what we saw. Fortunately for the Cornwall Wildcats, that one's going to come back.
A 93-yard run by Langendone.
Oh, yeah, there's a hold there. It looks like the wide receiver on the left side held that DB number 14 up, and
Brett Wall.
The official saw it.
But keep it going. Watch this extra gear that Langendone has, and he just puts nothing but real estate between him and Jack Kreitz.
That's a big kid, I think, U14, we're going to see this kid be able to excel as a running back. He's going to start getting into the gym more. If he can start putting on some more muscle, this is a kid that could develop into a really great back. He's already a great back.
That was reminiscent of Secretariat in the 1973 Belmont Stakes. So again, with the penalty, the touchdown is nullified. They move the sticks back. It's first down, 20 yards to go from around the 10-yard line. Kolodziejczyk throws that one out, intending that one for Langendone, but it was almost picked off there. Good read there from number 14, Miles Murpaugh, to get in and get a hand on that.
Yeah, no, great job. He got the hold against him that saved the touchdown, and then he almost got them 6 points there with that. He read the ball really well. It was one of those little swing passes that Cornwall's been running themselves, and he got in there to break it up.
So timeout called with 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. And these two teams have been battling in probably the worst conditions. We'll take a break and be back with more of the 2022 Tier 2 Ontario Fall Cup Final on TYSN.
I really hope it is.
Welcome back to the Tag Park on the campus of Carleton University. Kolodziejczyk rolling to his right, gets out of the pocket, stays in bounds, and moves it up beyond the original line of scrimmage. So it will be second down, about 7 yards to go. A little bit more manageable for the Generals here, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we like to get yourselves in these types of situations. You've got your back against the wall a little bit, but they've been able to convert on a few third downs today. So we'll see what they draw up on offense.
Update from London, Ontario, on the campus of Western University. Laval has come back and have taken a 21-20 lead over the Mustangs with 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. And the winner of that one gets a bye in the Vanier Cup final a week from tomorrow. Here's Corridor Reyes. Gets to the outside, cuts back inside, and a good open field tackle again by Phoenix Oates, stopping Corridor Reyes maybe just about a yard shy of necessary first down yardage.
Yeah, I wonder. It looks really close, though, so I don't know if that was an intended fake punt or if that was just kind of he didn't like what he saw and he took off with it. But a heads-up play by the punter. Let's have a look here. I think it might have been designed, but...
Well, they did get a first down.
They did get the first down, so it worked.
That was rather brash.
Well, I mean, the other thing you got to think about, I imagine, as a coaching staff and a team, is Cornwall hasn't been able to get into the end zone. So even if you give it up in your zone, are they going to be able to convert?
Here's Langendone once again, gets to the outside, puts it into the extra gear, and nobody will touch him. Ezekiel Langendone with his third touchdown of this football game. That would have been a 92-yard run to go with his 90-yard run. Ezekiel Langendone, wow.
Really great mechanics. I love, I've been talking about him all day, but just a really good, mechanically sound running back. He's well built as a kid. Look at him. He's looking over at his mom or his dad on the sideline there with a little bit of a half smile smirk because he knows that probably is the nail in the coffin.
Well, that extra gear that he has is so dangerous, but from a Niagara Generals perspective, you're so happy he's on your team. 2-point conversion attempt, Kolodziejczyk to Langendone, and he's tripped up. He doesn't get it.
But you know what? When you got a player like a superstar like this running back, like the Generals do, it gives you so much confidence. I know I was fortunate at McMaster to be able to play with Jesse Lumsden. And, when you knew when you had him in the game that you were never out of it. And you knew that coming off the bus, people were intimidated by having such a, explosive superstar on your team. So I'm sure the Generals are pretty happy about having this kid in Niagara.
Well, he has got a football future ahead of him. You know that there are football people watching this broadcast right now, and Langendone has had a great day. He hasn't got off the field. He's playing both ways. 5 carries for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Well, it
would have been 294 yards had that other touchdown that he scored not been called back. But 204 yards on 5 carries.
Very impressive day. But also credit needs to go to his receivers and his O-line. They're opening up some lanes for him. They're also downfield blocking has been outstanding on the Generals today. So, these receivers aren't just pretty faces. They're getting in there and they're throwing blocks themselves.
Corridor Reyes gets set to kick it away. Corridor Reyes has had an afternoon too. 4 carries for 28 yards and 3 sacks. Oh, that didn't go 10 yards. That did not go 10 yards before Brett Wall touched it. So it would appear by rule Cornwall would get the football where the ball was touched.
Let's have a look at it here, Dan. I didn't quite see it, but yeah, he kicks it right there, and that was about 9 yards, right?
It didn't go 10. So they'll bring the ball out to the point where it was touched, and it will be Cornwall ball. First down, 10 yards to go.
All right, so 7:12 left in the game. This has been a tough day on the Cornwall offense. They're up against, clearly, a really well-coached and disciplined defense, and there hasn't been much for them out here.
You're looking at the stats. You look at Langendone. And taking into consideration the 92-yard touchdown that was called back for a holding penalty, he scored touchdowns on his last 4 touches of the football.
Wow. Yeah, he's one of those backs that just gets better throughout the game. It's like a fine wine. He ages well. But that's the thing with these big running backs, right? The types of running backs like Henry and Eddie George that I referenced a few other times, they seem to get better in the third and fourth quarter, and that's when teams can really stick it to.
First down, Cornwall from the Niagara 54-yard line. Bryce Camplin has gone all the way at quarterback for Cornwall. Swings that out for Wiltshire. Wiltshire puts his head down, gets to the sideline, and he will score. Andrew Wiltshire, 54 yards, and Cornwall stays in this one.
Wow. Just like that, eh? They're making a go of it. They will not go softly into the night. The Ottawa night here that has fallen upon us. When you get a chance to play a championship game, especially at the provincial level, which is kind of a new concept for these football players in the fall, you're going to make every play count, and Cornwall still fighting hard here in the fourth.
A 54-yard pass and run. So that gives Andrew Wiltshire 5 catches. There's the kick, and it goes off the crossbar. Camplin slipped, trying to get through the kick, and the ball goes off the crossbar, so no touchdowns have been converted in this one. But Andrew Wiltshire, 5 catches for 111 yards and a touchdown. Pretty impressive for number 42 in red. Very impressive.
Very impressive. They caught him on that swing pass again. That's been working for them. They've done it to the left side, the right side. They've used Hamlin. That seems to be working for them. And I called it back in the third quarter. I really think they're setting up the opportunity to fake pass out on that little swing pass and have somebody like their wide receiver fake a block downfield and then carry on and get that ball, basically blow the top off that defense. And, it's only 12 points, so we still got time to make a go of this if you're Cornwall.
Do they go short kick here and let their defense handle Niagara?
Yeah, I don't think there's any harm in that. I mean, either way, whether you get back or not, you're going to have to defend that running back on Niagara. So I think you kick it really hard at somebody in the front row and hope to get lucky.
Mayville, Isaac Mayville, getting set to kick it away, waiting for the indication from referee John Pinchas. And he's got it. There's the short kick. Goes 10 yards, and they've got it. They've got it. Picked up by Caleb Denny and Cornwall. Tried the short kick. It worked. It went through the legs of Spencer McRae and right into the hands of Caleb Denny.
Right through the 5-hole. It's funny. That ball doesn't bounce like a soccer ball. That thing is unpredictable. It's all over the place. And that's a tough position to be in as somebody in the front line that doesn't handle the ball much. But here we go. Cornwall's got the ball back, down by 12. 6:50 left.
And they're at the same hash mark as the last offensive play that went for a 54-yard pass and run touchdown. They're at the Niagara 49, first down, 10 yards to go. Camplin sets up, throws. He's got Wiltshire wide open. Did he hang on to it? Yes, he did.
I think they're going to give it to him.
Wiltshire with a gain of 17. And another big first down.
Let's have a look at this, Dan. That was real close to being called incomplete. But I don't think there was enough evidence that it wasn't a catch. So, good call on the official just to trust his gut.
But a better call by the offensive coordinator to find Wiltshire so wide open.
You know what? Wide open in the seam there. So it's interesting to see what they're running on defense, but I'd go back to that.
First down. Here's Camplin, sets up, throws into the middle, and a quick hitter there is complete to number 16, Kenaniah Joseph. His second catch of the ball game makes it 2nd and 4.
So I don't know if it's that they're blitzing the Will and Sam linebackers, but there's really big gaps right there in the hook and curl zone, and that's what they're exploiting right now. So.
And Camplin flanked wide right. It's Mayville and Hamlin in the backfield under center. Here's Mayville. Or make that Hamlin. Sidesteps a couple of tackles, but is ultimately mauled there by Luis Corredor Reyes.
Yeah, it was a real solid tackle, too. But I know what they're trying to do, right? They just want to pick up the first down. Now they're in a little bit of a trickier spot, 3rd down. But watch this tackle here.
And just coming up
Number
from
7.
the secondary. So another timeout here. And I believe Cornwall has utilized their final timeout just to make sure that that everybody's on the same page for this is the most important play of the football game for them.
I think you're right, Dan. I think this is it. They've been able to move the ball a little bit. They got lucky with that recovering the kick, but I don't know how many more opportunities they're going to have. They've had quite a few down here in their end, and if they're going to make a go of this, they're going to have to convert here.
Why stop the short pass? They got 2 really quality plays out of it. One was a 17-yard gain. The other one was for 6, but the short pass worked.
Well, assuming that the defense doesn't adjust and put somebody in that hook to curl zone, then yeah, I would go back to it.
Well, they're going back to the original play. There he is. Oh, too late.
Just a little behind him.
Too late for Wiltshire to turn around, and he couldn't make the play. Here's another look. Wide open.
You know what? I think
Might have been Camplin not having enough on it.
I think Camplin really was going to want that one back. It looked like he threw on kind of his back foot, and he didn't kind of plant, and he had the time, and the receiver was open, so that one's going to hurt.
4:31 left to go. The Cornwall defense can make a play here quickly. They can stay in this.
Yeah, and I think if you're Niagara, you got to be really cautious not to cough the ball up with a stupid fumble or a bad snap. I mean, if you can just kind of chip away with a few yards every play and get another set of downs,
They're going to give it to 20.
why wouldn't you?
No, 20's the lead blocker. Here's Raducanu trying to turn the corner, and he slips. And it'll be no gain.
Yeah, I think, what kind of yards does that running back have that you said? I mean, you just stick to him and try to ride the clock out.
Why not? Why not? Locks Raducanu has been platooned with Benji Kolajijic this afternoon in this final.
Well, I think if you're watching this at home and you want some really good youth football, you're not going to be disappointed with this game.
The give once again to Langendone. He gets outside, keeps the legs going. Didn't get a touchdown this time, but more importantly for the Generals, he got a first down.
Yeah, another set of downs, 3 minutes, clock running. This one kind of stings if you're Cornwall. Almost kind of jumps over his blocker there, but really strong performance by the Niagara Generals running back.
Injured ball player Talon Kicker looking for some attention on the field. He's up but looks like he might be favoring his back a little bit. There you go, folks. It's the U14 Tier 2 Ontario Fall Cup Championship. Dan Mooney, Jesse Card, our entire TYSN crew. So pleased to have you along for the ride. We'll take a break and be back with the final 255. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. 24-12. Niagara in black in the lead over the Cornwall Wildcats. Here's Raducanu on the snap, and he lost his footing. Had to go back and get the football. Lost his footing and then was wrapped up immediately, but not after. It's a loss of about 4 yards, maybe 3 or 4, and another injured ball player down on the field.
Yeah, it's getting late into the day. It's been a tough game on both of these teams, so you're starting to see some of the players break down a little bit. And it's been a long season, too. Don't forget, a lot of these kids started their seasons back in early August, and here we are at the end of November, and they're playing in the snow. So, I mean, this is a grueling sport, and it's a grueling season.
But there is, having been involved in all kinds of organized sports, I played hockey, I played baseball, I played football. The experiences I had in football were beyond numb.
Yeah.
It was a completely different kind of experience. It's one of the only sports I really enjoyed practicing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you practice a lot more than you play in football, right? So you have to enjoy practice if you're a football player. And, it's interesting sport. Like, I was able to play a little bit of basketball, and I never played hockey, but they call football kind of the ultimate team sport. And I think the thing after you're done your playing career, whether that's, after U14 or after university or after pro, like Nate Fahar was here doing the games beforehand, I think what you remember the most is the camaraderie. And I think that's what these kids, being able to be on a bus, come up to Ottawa, maybe it's the first time a lot of these kids have ever been up to the nation's capital.
Right.
And to play in a university stadium in the snow, I mean, that's what it's all about.
And it's not to say that it doesn't happen in other sports, but the friends that these kids have, the friendships they've made on this team will stay with them the rest of their lives.
Absolutely.
Kolajic sets up, throws over the middle, intending that one for number 26, Carter Smith, out of the backfield, but it was incomplete.
So another third down. Once again, Cornwall, I personally think Cornwall has been, I don't know, you got to be good to be lucky, but they've kind of escaped. They've come up short in the red zone a few times. I think 3 or 4 times they've come up without points, and they've somehow kept themselves only 12 points down here.
There's been one punt block already in this one. And that one goes off the side of the foot. Cornwall is going to have great field position. No yards will be tacked on by Langendone. And Cornwall, again, great field position. 2:25 left to go. They have to start taking advantage of their opportunities. Time is slipping away.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, somehow I can't believe they're still in this game just because they've had the opportunities, but they haven't been able to capitalize on them. But there's still hope. There's still time.
The ball is on the Niagara 52-yard line. Bryce Camplin at quarterback in the shotgun. You know, Cornwall wants to put the ball in the air here.
Now watch for one of these swing passes, maybe up to the strong side. Nope.
Picks it up, Camplin throws it out, and it's complete to Vincent Laird, the tackle-eligible player, and Laird picks up 13 and a first down.
You know what? Wearing a number 59, he's catching the ball out as a wide receiver. I don't know if that's something that happens often, but a great catch by this kid to give the Cornwall Wildcats another first down.
14 yards on the reception. More importantly, a first down for Cornwall as they have to score on this possession to stay in this football game.
Now, I don't know if the defense is playing a little soft.
Camplin throws, and it's a one hopper to Connor Hamlin, but Vanier rules don't apply here.
Yeah, so much good football happening this weekend in Canada. It's great.
And then it culminates next weekend with the Vanier Cup.
That's right. Yeah, now usually the Vaniers played the Saturday before the Grey Cup. I don't know why they've changed that, but
not sure either.
just spreading the love, I guess.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Here's Camplin, sets up, throws over the middle, and it's intercepted. Langendone intercepts it. Don't see any flags. Here's Langendone. Langendone rolls over Bryce Camplin, and the only thing that stopped Langendone from getting into the end zone was the Cornwall quarterback.
Wow. How fitting for this kid to potentially end the game, right? He just basically runs the route for the receiver, gets in front, makes a catch, turns it up. You know, he knows what to do once the ball's in his hands, and he is just hit sticking people along the way here.
And it's Bryce Camplin that brings him down.
Well, Bryce is he's going to be sore tomorrow for sure.
Oh, he's a tough kid. He's taken a lot of punishment in this one, and the Niagara Generals are a minute 59 away from a provincial championship. Leading by 12. The ball on the Cornwall 40-yard line. Kolajijic. The give to Luis Corredor Reyes once again, tripped up there by Caleb Denny, number 26. And Denny was the man who was able to pick up that short kick that gave Cornwall a little bit of life.
Yeah, he's making some critical plays in this football game, you know. Maybe not the flashiest player, but we've said his name a lot, and the plays that he has made have been really, really important for the Wildcats.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Fumble. Ball dropped by Corredor Reyes. Bad exchange from Benji Kolajijic.
Let's have a look at this, Dan. Yeah, it's just a bad exchange. He jumps back on it, but that's where you got to be careful. You don't want to give the ball over to them.
So it results in a 2-yard gain, and it's now third down, 4 yards to go. A minute 25 left to go. You know that they're going to keep the ball along the ground to try and eat up as much clock as they can.
Absolutely. I don't think you go away at this point from what's worked.
And the give to Corredor Reyes once again. The ball is loose, and somehow Niagara able to fall on it.
Now, I'm not sure if that was number 7.
No, it was Carter Smith.
So Smith, one thing that's been impressive here, you can see him on the green. He's got a great lane, great blocking up front. But Niagara's really lucky. They've got quite a few capable running backs on this team, and they've been able to kind of share the load. Although, the majority of the load's gone to our friend in the black pants.
First down. Actually, no. It's the third first down of this second half for the Niagara Generals. Kolajijic to Carter Smith. Smith wrapped up by a host of Cornwall tacklers led by number 45, Keith Barron. So second down, about long 13, short 14 to go. Ball on the 32-yard line.
And they're just going to run this as long as they can. Oh, bad exchange again.
Kolajijic falls on it, and Cornwall will get one more play. As that is a loss. Actually, it's only third down now, so this will be the final play of the game, barring a penalty.
8 seconds.
Where's Beulah? Oh.
So zeros hit the clock, and that's the ball game. Niagara
wins it. They are the 2022 Ontario Fall Bowl provincial champions with a 24-12 win over the Cornwall Wildcats. Jesse Card, a pretty good football game and great effort displayed by both of these teams under pretty adverse conditions.
Absolutely, a great game. I think I said it before. If you're watching youth football here in Ontario, you can't be disappointed with that game. There's a lot of moments where Cornwall looked like they could come back. Both teams should be real proud and hang their head, not hang their head at all. They should keep their chin up.
Ezekiel Langendone, 6 carries, 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Luis Corredor Reyes, 5 carries, 33 yards. 5 carries, 33 yards, 3 sacks.
Wow.
And he did everything else. So as far as deciding who would be considered for most valuable player, offensively, Langendone, defensively, Corredor Reyes, MVP of the game, Langendone.
100%. I think you nailed it on the head. Unbelievable game. Some real talent here in Ontario at the U14 level. Excited to see these kids move up as football players.
Indeed. Well, we'll wrap things up from Carleton University here. The U14 Tier 2 provincial champions are the Niagara Generals. They win 24-12 against the Cornwall Wildcats. For Jesse Card and our entire TYSN crew, I'm Dan Mooney. Thanks so much for the company. Stick around.